All right, Ma has another terrible take. What's new? I don't know. Let's see what's up with this. So it says, just when you think he can't, Ma continues to outdo himself with terrible takes. He says the game doesn't care about fixing things with Kendrick. Okay.
Do we want to talk about this Top Dog thing before voicemails?
Yeah, man. He was right about some things you said.
I mean, I didn't have any like insight on that. I just fucking assumed, knowing both of those people and how they react, somebody would feel away.
Right.
For those that don't know, Statquo was on the Company Man's podcast, and Top Dog did call in and said that Kendrick started to not really fuck with Game after he brought Drake to Compton, specifically because Drake was dissing Kendrick on there. And then Game did end up hitting Statquo about it and said, hey man, I didn't know he felt that way. I didn't feel any type of way when he did the Power scene with 50. Though I think those are
it's a difference.
Those are, yeah, apples and bowling balls as far as a comparison. But Game said, if I held grudges, would LA rap even be what it is? Which is a fair point. But I feel like that's past now. That Game and Kendrick can fix that.
Game and Kendrick?
Yeah.
Let's talk about the Game can fix that point. I don't think we should look at this like they can fix that. Nigga, ain't nothing wrong with it. It's where it's at, and it's gonna be there. They don't got beef. They not busting at each other. They not trying to find each other like on the wrong turf and shooting. What do they need to fix in life? There's some real shit that be happening, right? And sometimes that means people that you thought you was cool with, you fall off with, right? And you fuck with them from a distance. You don't gotta fuck with them because y'all got mutual friends here and there. You from a distance, bro. You don't gotta be, what's up, buddy? You don't gotta be in the studio together, hanging out all day. You don't gotta do that. It's just, bro, you on some shit that I can't fuck with, so we not fucking with each other. That's it. We don't gotta be best friends. Everybody think you gotta be on some like, yo, man, they can fix it. They can kumbaya. No, man. Ain't no damn kumbaya. That's some shit you just can't come back from, man. And I think what we have noticed in this whole situation is that the Game has decided that Drake is his forever friend. Forever friend.
Stick beside him.
Because this man gets on stage, professes how he feels. He talks about all the things that Drake has done for him. He's not letting that go.
That's mine.
And these are two people that literally tried to take each other's heads off. Bro, this man said that this guy was abusing his fiance. Come on, man. And on the other side, this guy is called the PDF. You think these two gonna be cool? They not gonna be cool. So that means you in the middle, I can't trust you, bruh. I cannot trust you. If you hanging out with somebody like that who tried to take me out, you think you gonna come chill with me and hang out with me after you was with this dude the day before? What we gonna talk about? I can't tell you nothing. I can't tell you nothing. I can't trust you, bruh, because you chill with the ops. It's not that hard. It's not that hard. They ain't fixing shit. As long as you and homie is friends and you bringing him out here and you doing all this shit and you talking about how much you owe him for shit, we ain't fixing nothing, dog.
I mean, I would think so. I don't know if Game really cares to fix it though.
Hey, that part too. The line was drawn when did you purposely call him Marbury? Putting money out in the streets for info. That's very important too. Remember how many things were done in this battle, bro. For you to still be out here publicly saying that's my homie, and then you talking about it's all about the West? You publicly saying this my homie, and you want me to publicly hang with you? No. What are we talking about, man? Golly, man. Right, that part too. Wife had a baby with his best friend. Yeah, crazy. Said all they want is a glaze fest no matter what person did. That's nasty work. They said, F fixing the relationship, you chilling with somebody who foul as hell. That's what I'm saying. And you know he foul as hell. You saying you with me, but even if you was gonna be cordial with him, right, and you're not gonna say him, you still be hanging with this nigga. I just watched this nigga fly you out a couple months ago. He flew you out. And you want us to be cool? Get out of here, man. Golly.
I don't know if Game really cares to fix it though.
Where the hell you been at, dog? Where the hell this nigga been at, man? That's your response?
A 2-pack of ass.
What the hell is even that?
What do you mean? He doesn't, have you not said, all right, man. Sometimes, man, I just don't understand this guy, man. How do you not feel like he needs to fix this or he doesn't care to fix it? The man is literally calling people and saying, how come Kendrick don't call me? How come you don't call me, man? Yes. Come on, dog. Did you just wake up?
I agree with you.
Like, I think that, because, you know, obviously he just had the verses and he said, you know, he was doing the song with Drake. He said, yo, this is my nigga. I don't care who feel away about it. So, you know, I mean, I don't, you know, I just think that, you know, Game is just, you know, his side is his side. He's been very clear, very vocal about that. Again, this is just, I don't know the root of it. Like, obviously, Kendrick feels like Drake was talking about him on 100 on the song.
Yeah, I don't think Kendrick felt a way about Drake. Didn't say anything crazy on the song, but he's clearly taking a shot because they were taking subliminals at each other for years at that point. I don't think Kendrick was like pissed in the house like, yo, Drake said that about. I think he was looking at Game like,
that's foul. I think that's how he looking at it. That's a little strange. You gonna bring this man to Compton? What does that even mean? You gonna bring him out there to Compton and let him spit that weak ass shit? Man, come on, dog.
Okay, you brought him to where we live to say that?
Yeah.
I think he was way more mad at Game. I don't think he gave a fuck about what Drake. He's like, that's par for the course. We've both been sending shots. Kendrick had sent shots before that. I think he was just looking at Game like, okay, you're bringing him. Y'all could have shot the video anywhere. You shooting this shit fucking 3 blocks from my crib? Like,
At some point, I think Game and Kendrick gonna have to have a conversation.
well, they've had people found photos and
No. I'm talking about a conversation.
I get it. That's
Like-
what.
Conversation or not, I don't think that conversation gonna change anything. If it was me, it wouldn't change anything for me. I'm gonna just keep it real. If you still hanging out with this dude, what is it gonna change for me? I can't talk to you about nothing. And I'm not gonna chill with you if we can't talk about nothing. What we gonna talk about? I wouldn't feel comfortable telling you anything. I wouldn't even be comfortable telling you, yeah, I'm working on this new record. I can't even tell you that. So if it was me, I can't do it. So what do they need to talk about? And I think people get it confused when they see that Kendrick don't want to have no conversations. That's because nigga ain't shit to talk about. Why you gonna have a conversation about what? What we gonna talk about, man? There's nothing for us to discuss.
But
We can stop doing the whole, you know, Compton. We both from Compton. We love each other, love the hood. This obviously, maybe not from Game side. I think Kendrick feels a way towards Game.
Yeah, that's what I was saying, and that's what Top confirmed. Like, yeah, Kendrick.
Yeah, but then you said Game said what?
This nigga's just saying anything, bro. I think it's the opposite. When you're not fucking with somebody, you don't feel a way towards that person. You don't care. You don't give a shit about that person. That's the point. Y'all trying to make it seem like Kendrick is like, man, I can't believe the Game said that. When you're a type of person that don't tolerate bullshit, you don't give a shit about that person. That's why you ain't heard Kendrick come out and say nothing. Have you heard Kendrick on an interview saying, yeah, man, that shit Game did was foul? No, because he don't care. The person that cares here is the Game, because the Game is the one doing all these little things, bruh. The Game doing all that. Hold on, man. Let me find this. Basically alluded to him being in the studio now. So you go run in the studio to what? You gonna make a record? You gonna make a record talking shit? So this is what he said right here. So Certified Boogeyman said, just make sure you are direct as you can be, script or blow. They say, hey, not to piss anyone off, but Los Angeles Confidential in studio with the laughing emoji. What does that even mean? What does that mean? You about to come out with a record explaining everything? You ought to talk about it? But then here you got these dudes sitting here talking about Kendrick feels some type of way. It's not Kendrick, dog. It's the Game. He feels some type of way, man. Why won't he talk to me? And Kendrick probably somewhere doing burpees. They're probably running a mile. Probably doing yoga. Probably doing some shit, man. Meditating. Who knows?
Yeah, he didn't feel no way when Kendrick went and did Power, which was a hilarious scene. I do hope Kendrick gets like into acting, because that Power scene when he played that crackhead was the funniest shit ever.
Okay, so that was Game's response, right?
Yeah.
Obviously, them two, they need to have, just them two, have a conversation, you know, because there is some underlying things that might manifest into something bigger if, you know.
Yeah.
Because when you let things like that just kind of go under the radar and just kind of act like there's not an issue or somebody doesn't feel away, there's things that happen where you may do something that may trigger it to where now it's a real thing. And it's like, oh shit, I didn't even know you felt a way about any of that. Like, so that's what I'm saying. Them two, they need to have a conversation.
I don't even think it's gonna get to nothing like that, bro. I think if anything, it would be the Game getting emotional about something. But I don't think the other side cares, bro. I'm gonna just keep it honest with y'all. I don't think nobody give a shit. I think they just like, bro, if that's your boy, that's your boy. We just can't chill with you, dog. That's it. You just not gonna be privy to some information. You're not gonna be in some circles. It just is what it is. They said Kendrick at Best Buy right now. Like, yo, it's like, damn, man.
And I've also been kind of like, guilty of certain stuff like that too, where Game is saying like, I didn't feel no way when you did the shit with 50, but you peeped it.
Yeah. You always peep the move. You always peep it. You may not speak on it.
And then now if you feel away, okay, well then now I feel away about it.
Oh, but
I've been guilty of that where I said I haven't felt a way about something, but then sometimes I'm like, well, I didn't feel a way then, but now if you feeling this type of way, now I'm like, all right, what do we do?
Because then that turned into, I didn't say nothing when you. You see what I'm saying? I didn't say nothing when you did.
Human thing I think we all have.
Right.
So there's plenty of shit I would have never bring up and nor like harp on or care about.
Until somebody
But if you bring some shit up.
Right. That's what I'm saying. So that's why I feel like they need to have.
But then you have to ask yourself, did you really not care? Because it's a little hypocritical. I'm saying me personally, I've done that.
Yeah, no, same. But I'm saying there's certain things that you can like. It would trigger like, yo, but I didn't. When you did that shit, I didn't bother me. Yeah, like
I didn't know we was on that.
So yeah, it didn't bother me. But it's like if what I just did bothered you, like I could have felt the way about that, and that shit didn't mean nothing to me.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. Like them two, they need to have a conversation because there's something there.
Yeah, I mean, I know. Do you know Top's history? Obviously, we talked about the first time I ever heard K-Dot was on a Game mixtape. But the Top and Game relationship goes back very far. Yeah. So I think that's something that Top could probably get the two of them in a room.
It's enough mutuals to have a conversation. Yeah. It's way too many mutuals.
It don't matter if they mutual or not, bro. I think they've already had this conversation. That's just what I think. I think they've already had conversations before, and I think it's just at a point where ain't no need to have another conversation. You already let it be known that's your boy, and it gonna be what it is. You gonna rock with him, and you know that side don't rock with him. It's done. The only conversation that could come out of that is if they decided Kendrick's side and that side was gonna be cool again. That's not happening, dog. I'm sorry. It ain't happening.
It's even how Kendrick got early on with the Game mixtapes and around Game was because Top had already had a relationship with Game and his whole crew.
Right. You know, they could have a conversation. They need to, though. They need to. Yeah. It's way too many. Like we just talked at the top of the show, mutuals. There's way too many mutuals.
And why I think their history goes so deep is we don't really know Top to call anyone to clear anything up.
Yeah.
Because there's some shit that has been said about Kendrick on diss records. Shit, I mean, everything we talked about the last how many years. Have we ever heard Top say a thing?
Right.
But then when it comes to a Game thing, you're hitting Stat Quo on the Company Man podcast to clear something up about Game that nobody was really cared that much about to begin with.
Until now.
To me shows how deep rooted that entire thing is because you didn't clear up a fucking thing with Kendrick, nor did we expect you to. Top has always stayed very quiet.
Right.
To me, that says more than what Stat Quo said, the fact that Top even called him to clear that up on a podcast.
Yeah, it says that there's some real
like
feelings and emotions and intentions behind a lot of that shit. Like, and we want to clear certain things up. We don't want things to be said that's not, because this situation can be it's a very tricky situation. It's very
LA politics are. I'm never even gonna try to understand.
Yeah, but they need to though. Like I think Game and Kendrick definitely need to have a conversation.
All right, man. Stop this damn conversation shit, man. Fuck out here, man. Stop it, dog. Listen, man, at the end of the day, Top called because Top wanted people to not get it mixed up. That's why he called Stat Quo, because everybody was watching the clip and the narrative was people were starting to believe that Kendrick was just mad out of nowhere, and Top wanted to make it clear that that wasn't the case. All right? He wanted to make it clear that that wasn't the case, and Stat Quo disclosed the information that it was over the 100 video. All right? All right? It wasn't Top saying, get me on the podcast, let's explain this shit because we got to explain this shit for Game. No, it was just so people wouldn't go and run with the idea that Kendrick just this guy getting mad at everybody for doing shit for no reason. Stop it, dog. Golly, man. Shit crazy, man. These guys, man, they be doing the most, man. But there's Maul with another bad take, man. Another bad take from Maul, man. And, it is what it is.